If you're starting your NEET PG preparation right now, this is a video you should not miss. But if you've already been preparing, shut off this video and don't watch it anymore. Because the problem is, if you watch many strategy videos, you'll just be planning but not executing. If you have something that has already been working for you, please continue to do that. The thing that is more important than the strategy is actually executing it. So hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Dr. Basili, a full-time orthopedic surgeon and a faculty of orthopedics. In this video, I want to talk about the things that you should not miss if you're starting your preparation today. So the first thing is the time enough? So if you're watching this video around the time it is released, you have roughly around 5 months to prepare for the NEET PG 2023, which I personally feel is a good enough time. But honestly, there are many people who can't crack it in 5 months, and also there are many people who can't crack it in 5 years of preparation as well. So what does that tell you? It tells you that it all depends on who you are and where you stand in terms of your knowledge and substance. And please, don't assume what you are. A lot of us have a habit of underestimating ourselves. I have seen many toppers tell that they are extremely average students, and I've seen many average students think so highly of them. So don't let your opinion confuse you. Let's just be objective here and do a grand test and see where we stand. If you attempt a grand test today and are scoring somewhere around 40 to 50% of marks correctly, then you're in the race. And if you're somebody who's unable to crack even the 30% questions, then you need to put in a lot of effort. And obviously, if you're somebody who's getting more than 60 to 70% right on the grand test, friend, you've already cracked it. So can we just stop thinking what we were and focus on what we can do right now? See, the most important thing right now is how you use this remaining time. You can sit down and start reading pathology, and you can go into the depths and nooks and crannies of pathology and study for 5 months. Or you can be smart enough to focus on the important things and just skim through the relevant points that are asked on the exam. In my previous video, I've already talked about how to find out the key and important topics from any subject for your exam. If you've missed it, please watch it after this video. So the first most important thing as you start preparing right now is to understand that you will be unable to complete everything, and it is absolutely okay. So your agenda right now is to only focus on things that you can retain and revise for the exam, because reading something without revising is as good as not reading ever. So obviously, while doing something, you realize कि यार ये तो बहुत मुश्किल है, this is impossible, I will be unable to remember this or revise this, so just leave it. But if you start leaving things like that, you will be unable to finish anything. So that's why I keep telling you, you need to focus on what is important for your exam. Suppose you're doing a question bank. I told you, if 50% of the students are getting it right, that is something you should know. Suppose there is a question that was asked in the previous exam, that is something you can't afford to miss. Even if you can't understand it, even if you can't get your head around it, find a way to remember it so that you can answer on the exam. Right, so what did I say? I said you can't finish everything. Focus on things that are relevant for your exam. And how to identify what are relevant for your exams? I've already made the video, but I've just told you that you will find the questions in the previous years and the question bank percentage of people getting it right. Everything else you can miss if you don't have time. Now, the second important thing is that you cannot afford to sit down and consistently watch videos and learn everything. That is not going to happen. You don't have time. Now, if you are someone who had started the preparation a long time ago, might as well quickly finish everything that is remaining and start planning your revisions. But if you're someone who's starting now, this is what I suggest. I suggest focusing on the test and discussion videos and revision videos to grasp the knowledge of the subject that is necessary to answer the MCQs. You don't have to look beyond it, because that itself will consume a majority of your time. Now, you will feel that I'm missing out on the information that other students are reading, but that's the advantage of starting early. You did not, so might as well accept it. So your source of knowledge will come from the revision videos and test and discussion videos. The third important thing right now is to practice as many questions as possible, at least 100 to 200 questions every day. Now, this can be something that you have read today or watched the video of today, which will make it even easier to answer the questions, but it is essential that you do it, because when you see the questions, you will understand what the examiner wants from you. So the information that you have consumed now has a reason for you to consume. You will understand what part of that information you need to retain, and you will definitely sit down, make a mnemonic, make a story, and try to mug it up, because you know you will be unable to answer the MCQ without that piece of puzzle. I personally wouldn't do the questions of the topic I have read the same day. Now, while doing the questions, you will feel that you're getting most of of them wrong. But please understand, these questions that you're practicing from the question bank are not designed to test you. I've been telling you this a million times. Question bank is a learning tool, not a testing tool. So don't feel bad if you can't answer the questions correctly. Look at the question, read the explanation, understand what the examiner wants from you, how to differentiate the various differentials of a particular pathology. The next thing that is very important for you is to actually test yourself. So the question bank that you've been doing was to learn, but how will you test yourself? You will test yourself with grand tests. Now, if you're starting now, I would suggest taking a grand test every 2 weeks, but slowly start picking up pace, and the ideal time, few weeks before the exam, should be at least one grand test every 1 week. You see, when you do the question bank, what happens is, you know that you're talking about a particular subject, and in that subject, you're talking about a particular pathology. For example, you're doing the question bank of rheumatoid arthritis. You know that the subject is orthopedics, and the questions are usually coming from rheumatoid arthritis, so you're inclined to think around that. But when you do the grand test, that bias goes away. You see each question as a new individual patient without any history before. So even though it's a rheumatoid arthritis question, you might be confused thinking about ankylosing spondylitis or something else, and this is where you develop the skill to understand what the examiner expects of you, and you search for the right option. Now, the next and the most important thing I personally feel is not holding on to a particular subject for more than the predefined time. Now, what is this predefined time? How much time should you allot to a subject? A general rule of thumb, and this might change for everyone because not everyone is good in medicine, not everyone is good in surgery. People are different. Some are good in medicine, some are very good in SPM, some people just are awesome in surgery. So people are different. So this totally depends on you. So if you're someone who's average in all the subjects, this is something you should follow. First year and second year MBBS subjects should not take more than 1 week to complete. Final year subjects not more than 10 days, and short subjects not more than 2 to 3 days. You cannot afford to give them time more than that. Whatever you can read and finish in that time is enough for that subject, and that is why you have to be very selective and prioritize what you're reading. And how will you do that? Previous year questions and question bank answers where majority of the students are getting it right. So those are the key areas you should focus on early on in your preparation. Now, what if you come across a topic or a subject you have absolutely no idea about? So this is the thing that you should do for it. Go to the regular videos and try to watch that particular topic which is constantly bothering you, number one, and is also relevant and important for your exam. If it is bothering you and it's not important, please let it go. If it is important and it's not bothering you, then you're in a very good place. And the last and the most important thing that I want to tell you, friends, is that you should now understand that the information that is available everywhere is enormous, and you cannot consume all of that. There are regular videos, there is an intern mode, there is a revision video, there is a test and discussion video, there are short courses available. There are so many things out there, but you have to be very specific in what you dedicate your time to. I think the problem of this generation aspirants is that you should now know what you should not read rather than what you should read. And I know it's a very difficult task, but hopefully these pointers will help you go ahead. I wish you all the best on your journey, and I will see you on the other side. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.